Hi my lovelies, welcome if you are new here. My name is Hetty and on this channel we discuss all things positive and high vibes. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and turn on your notifications for this channel so you can see all the wonderful content we are discussing on here. And today's video is going to be all about how it's okay to feel down. So keep listening and I will tell you more about why it is actually sometimes a good thing for us to feel negative. So often a lot of people who are on sort of spiritual journey or spiritual path, whatever you want to call it, just people who are looking to feel better generally and just to understand more about themselves, others in the universe as a whole, why we are here, we can fall into the trap of feeling like we have to be positive 24/7. I know when I first went on this journey, I was very much like, okay, really gotta think good thoughts, feel good things. Oh, everything I want will happen if I feel good 24/7. I must only think good thoughts. And I'd sometimes maybe get angry, something would really annoy me. And I'd just feel sad and I'd be like, oh god, no. And I'd start to panic and I'd probably create more and more negative emotions and feelings for myself because I would panic that I'd feel bad and I was then going to attract so many bad things into my life because I thought something bad. But no, it is perfectly okay for you to have those negative emotions. We label them negative because they don't feel too pleasant to us when we are feeling them. So sadness, depression, anger, anxiety, irritability, all of these fall under the category of negative emotions. So why is it actually useful for us to feel negative emotions? If we didn't feel negative emotions, we would have no reference point for when we felt good. We would not realise how far we have come or how good we feel. It's all really good initially because it is a reference point. I'm not saying that, I'm not meaning on this video that it's great to feel negative, you should feel negative all the time, but when you have those moments where you're feeling down again, even if you've been feeling that you've been really positive for a while, don't freak out, don't worry that you're undoing all of the work that you've put in, don't worry. We have to experience negativity and contrast in our lives in order to know how good it feels to feel good and to reach more and more for the feeling of feeling good and to change the aspects of our life then that will fall more in line with how we actually truly want to feel. So it's a great reference point. It is also great because if we didn't feel negative, we would never know the contrast between what we do want and what we don't want. So when we have negative emotions, experiences, feelings, it highlights to us what we don't want. It highlights to us that we don't want to be feeling like that, and it might highlight the situations that have perhaps influenced us to feel like that. And then on the opposite of that, it shows us, okay, well, if I don't want that, this is what I actually do want. So it's very useful to us in that way of showing us that if we have the contrast in our lives, it helps point us in the better direction. If we don't have that contrast, we'd kind of just be like, yeah, just stay here then. Yeah, I don't really know what other way to go. Like, I'll just stay here. We wouldn't evolve, we wouldn't grow, we wouldn't get to where we want to be if we didn't have that contrast in our lives. So it can be very useful for those reasons, and it is also perfectly natural because we are human beings. We have come into this time space reality here. We have manifested physically, if you believe in that. So I believe that we have come here to enjoy and experience this range of emotions and feelings. It might sound a little bit esoteric or spiritual to some people that we have come here to enjoy this here life, to feel these feelings and everything around us, but it's really part of all of our experience to have a range of emotions. If it was unnecessary, then we would have just evolved to not have any of those negative emotions, and we haven't. People have been feeling these for as long as I know, hundreds of years, thousands of years, however long we have been around for. People have had periods of depression and anxiety or anger. It is perfectly natural to feel those things. It is just good to identify when you are feeling in any of those moods, that you know that this isn't where you want to stay forever, but you can allow it be at the time. So you don't have to panic that you're in that place. You don't have to worry. You don't have to think, when am I going to come out of this? I've been feeling so good, now I'm feeling so down. Like, when's it going to change for me? When am I going to be feeling on a high flying disc again? When am I going to be feeling, you know, really good? So you don't need to worry. The best thing to do is actually to allow it all in. Allow yourself to feel the emotion. You don't have to be overcome by it completely so that you're immobilized in your day-to-day life. But in that moment, allow it to come in. If you feel the anger, allow it to come in. You don't have to act on it. Same if you feel, you know, sad or worried or anxious or depressed, you can allow it in and allow yourself and say, this is okay. It is showing me where I actually want to get to. So I'm showing it. I'm using it as something useful in my life, as a point to go from. So you can always see every experience of when you have a negative emotion or negative feeling, as you can ask, what is this showing me about my life? What is this showing me about myself? Is it an experience externally to me that has perhaps influenced me in a certain way? And is it when I'm around a certain person, I tend to allow myself to feel more negative emotions, or when I'm in a certain situation, or it might be something to do, for example, with your job. If you're feeling particularly depressed, is it your job that's, you know, when you're in that, it's making yourself feel like that? Is it something else? So it's a great reference point to identify why you're actually feeling like that. So sit back, allow it to be, but just take note of, okay, it might be this situation that I want to change, which has created this feeling to come about in me. And it's great to highlight that to you. If we didn't have that highlighting, like I said before, then we wouldn't have any point of where we want to move. We'd probably all stay stuck where we are forever, and we wouldn't really grow and evolve, which would be really boring for all of us. So you have to see it as a positive even when you feel negative and down. I still get times where I have emotions where they are less than desirable. Something, I might all of a sudden just get angry. It might for a second spark a bit of anger in me and want me to go back to my old ways of being defensive and jumping straight on it. And now I just allow myself to feel the anger, but I'll take myself out of the situation, or allow myself to feel down, but I will make sure that I do things that maybe I'm not around anyone when I feel that way, just so that nothing exacerbates that for me. So there's plenty of reasons as to why we can get into down moods and feel down, and don't worry that when you are feeling particularly down, or maybe you have just a negative thought which instantly sparks, that happens to me sometimes, instantly sparks a feeling, don't think like, oh my god, I just had a negative thought and feeling about it, and now what I want to manifest is just going to go completely wrong, and I'm going to start manifesting a load of negative things and coming into my life, and oh my god, the world's going to end. It's not going to happen. You have a buffer basically of wellness around you, that it is a positive thought and feeling is 10 times, 100 times more powerful than any negative feeling or emotion. Is way more powerful. The feeling of love and joy and pure peace is so much more powerful than depression, despair, anger, hatred, anxiety. There is such a difference between the two, and the positive emotions and feelings have way much more of an impact on your life. So don't worry if you are, you know, you're having all of a sudden a negative day when majority of the days are positive. Sometimes I'll have like a few hours in a day now where I'm like, oh god, I'm feeling particularly a little bit anxious, you know, so it might creep back in. It's this little bit of worry, a little bit of doubt. And instead of resisting it and blocking it and not letting myself take it in, I allow myself to take it in and say, what's this showing me? Okay, maybe I need to not do that today. Maybe I need to change that. Maybe this and this. I allow it in. I don't resist it. If you create the resistance around it, you will attract more in, because you're trying to push it out so much that it's just trying to come into your life even more. Don't resist it. Allow it. Go with the flow. It's perfectly natural. Ask what it is showing you in your life. Don't worry. You have a buffer of wellness around you that is surrounding you, full of love. That is who you are as a being. So you will always attract more positive than negative. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. I always like to hear your comments as well. So until next time, please don't beat up on yourself for feeling down. You're allowed it, allow it in, and it will go so much quicker. You'll feel better so much quicker, which sounds paradoxical, but it's true. And keep spreading the positive vibes and love, and I will see you soon. Mwah!